Let's talk about Shrewsbury first up. I think maybe looking at the size of their squad, perhaps some people thought they wouldn't stay the course. I know they've had a bit of a wobble of late, but they've done really well.
Well, I don't think it's the size of the squad. They've got good depth of their squad. I think it was just at the start of the season. I think they got great belief and great momentum from being tipped by most people in football to be in the relegation zone, and they started off extremely well. But anyone who knows the manager, what he's about, anyone who knows the chief exec and Brian Codwell and the chairman, they're going to be offering more than just verbal support. They're going to be backing it with their wallets and backing it with a commitment as a board. But Hursty's done terrific. For me, without a doubt, the manager of the year in League One, team of the year in League One without a doubt, because the big boys Blackburn and Wigan have done tremendous, and they've spent the money in the right way because they've got promoted. But you know, Shrewsbury are the club of the season, and they'll be getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, they haven't managed a win since the trophy final. Has that been a bit of a distraction for them?
I think anyone who comes out of Wembley in a cup competition, it's the aftermath of what you get, and it's really interesting. You know, you look at Lincoln; they've won the game at Wembley and come out and kicked on a little bit. But if you lose there, it takes a little bit of away. But I think there's also a part of it where the manager is looking towards the playoffs. I think the playoffs are where Shrewsbury's been destined to since they lost a couple of games post Wembley, and so they're probably saving a little bit of themselves for those games.
And they've been competitive, haven't they? In every match they've played this season, they've really got something about them.
Well, they've got a great base, haven't they? They don't concede many goals. They've got my next player of mine, Matty Sadler, right at the heart of that defence, wholehearted, committed lad, and he'll ensure there's commitment all around him. But that's driven by the manager and the coaching staff. So it's another tough game for us. We knew when we joined it, you know, to go to the imbalance of away games we had and the quality of teams that we had to face away from home. You know, when you go into the likes of Blackburn and you go into Shrewsbury and you go into Portsmouth next week, it's really, really tough. But they are what they are, and we'll go through them as best we can.
In terms of the injuries, is Marcus any closer?
Well, we'll give him a little check again tomorrow. It's simply bone bruising. He's now almost doing everything that would be expected of him, but he's still feeling a bit of discomfort, and that's just a bit personal pain levels and thresholds. So we'll see how he is tomorrow. We're not travelling till tomorrow, which is the norm for the night game. So we'll see how he is, and if he's good enough to be around us in terms of feeling less pain, he'll be involved. If not, we'll try and get him ready for Saturday.
I suppose it goes without saying you've missed a bit of that magic that he brings to the side.
Well, I've always said, haven't I, that every day you're missing a genius on the pitch. It's not the best days. Go and watch Barcelona without Messi. You know, it's that clear. Go and watch Real Madrid and don't have Ronaldo on the team. It's a boost for others, and you don't have that bit of magic. And Marcus often gets a little bit of criticism from all around, really, that saying he doesn't do enough defensively at times. But you know, there's an acceptance for that when he produces the magic that kid does. He is a magician when he gets on the ball in that final third, and I've got no doubt in recent times, like the Rochdale game and you know, and other games we played, he would have opened the door for us.
Yeah, it's so few players really in world football that can do that, isn't it? Make something out of nothing.
Well, the gifted ones all play at the best clubs, don't they? If you look at, we've just mentioned, you know, Messi at Barcelona and Suarez and Neymar when he was there, people like that. You look at Manchester City, they've got the likes of Aguero who can open the door. Mind you, they've got a host of others. You look at Real Madrid, they've got Gareth Bale and Ronaldo. You take those teams out, those players, out those teams, it's big losses. You take Madison out of our team, it's a loss, but you know, it's no more loss than anyone else. We have to cope with it. I think in fairness, George Cooper's come in and done really well, but that kid was let down when he come here. He come here for a lot of money, I think, approaching £400,000 in January, and didn't have 190 minutes till we walked in the door, and that just somehow can't be right. But that would be looking back rather than looking forward. So we'll look forward with George. I thought he was the best player on the pitch at Blackburn for 50 minutes, and then the legs fell off him, which we expected. So let's hope he can be the best player on the pitch at Shrewsbury for a bit longer.
Yeah, it must have been really pleasing for him to have been involved in those game-changing moments, to have had the free kick, which led to the corner, which he then took, which led to the goal. And when you play in that kind of position, it's what Marcus does so well. It's impacting on those key moments.
Absolutely. You know, we'd love Marcus in the same team as Coops, won't we? But George has come in, and we played him in a couple of games, like I said, Rotherham, and he got lost a little bit. But just because of lack of match action, he was undoubtedly one of the, if not the best players in League Two up until the Christmas period. And you go from playing 95 minutes of every game, Saturday, Tuesday, to not playing at all. And the kid let it get him down. He was told he would play and promised he would play, but he didn't get in. And when that happens, it's just a not playing. And he's a confidence boy. But listen, he's done some magical things again in training today, and we look forward to working with him certainly for the rest of this season and especially next season.
In terms of further injuries, is it getting a bit late in the day now for Omar Bogle? If he gets fit, could he still have a part to play, or is it a bit late to be fitting him in?
I think it's getting a bit late now, isn't it? He's not really recovered from the groin yet. That's probably a week to 10 days, and it's a bit like Tafazoli. If we needed Omar and we went to the last day at Portsmouth and we needed something and we had to play him, then he would be there for us and we'd be there for him. But and the same with Tafazoli, but it's probably getting a little bit late. We don't talk about injuries as a management team. I think we prefer to, as you've seen it firsthand, we talk about the players that we've got, but we've been without Taylor, without Baldwin, without Tafazoli, without Madison, without Doughty. We've been with what you would say a lot of the stronger players in the group at different times, but you have to cope with that.
And just a quick word on Blackburn from the other night, regardless of what happens over the next few games, do you think Posh can reach those kind of levels next season where even in the first half things weren't going well for them, but they stuck in there and they had the firepower to get back in the game? Is that the sort of thing that Posh can do next year? Well,
that's what we will be doing next season. I think is what promotion teams do. I think when they're not having the best day, or they're getting outplayed, and they were getting outplayed all over the pitch. I think Tony Mowbray's going on record and saying it was the best performance against his team all season for the first hour of the game. But first hour is never enough to win you the game, as we found out to our cost. But you know, when we get into the summer, we'll worry about next season. But it's fair to say the group will look a little bit different to it does now.
Yeah, do you think it's a little step to go from where you are to where you want to be, or will it be quite a big step? How are you looking at it?
Big step. I think if you look at the points tally that Peterborough United's had for the last few seasons, 63, 62, 64, the only time they've gone north of 70 is when they get in the playoffs themselves under Darren Ferguson and lost in a two-legged semi-final to Leyton Orient the year that I won it with Rotherham. And but it tends to be that 63, 64, 65 points is where the group can get them. It's not enough, just simply not enough. So we know what we have to do. The chairman's well aware of the players that, you know, in large that I'd like to keep here. There's one or two that we're still deciding on that are playing for a future here, and he's certainly well aware of the players that I'd like to bring here, and that's passed up the line.
Yeah, I'm sure you've had a look back over those seasons. Because the points totals have been remarkably consistent, have the failings and things that have gone wrong in those seasons, have they been different, or do you think the same mistakes have been made over and over again?
I wouldn't say they've been made over and over again. I think the one thing that's very common here is that whoever the head coach or the manager is gets fantastic support from above. Peterborough United is probably in the last 3 or 4 years, and there'll be people out here to shoot me down statistically, but one of the biggest spenders. Who was the big spenders on League One in January? I can tell you who they were. Posh. And but you can't go and spend the likes of the money that was spent and not see a way that those players are going to play right away. Because if you're spending money in January, it's more expensive than what it is in the summer period, and therefore they have to be getting signed to go in and play. So I would say there's different little issues that's cropped up from time to time as to why it's always been that sort of 63, 64 point mark. But it'll be different in the summer going forward for sure.